Hey, John Disler here, johndisler.com. Today I'll be creating this top banner section, the first section in the website, along with the title, buttons, and the search and tracking and links below here. So first, I want to remove this border that I have. I use this border for help, guiding me in how much padding I should be using, how much space I had left in the navigation bar. So I'm going to be taking that off. Going back to Visual Studio Code. I'll just comment this out. I don't need it right now. So that right now, my navigation bar. Oh, I do have to start the server, and I do have to be watching the Sass right down here. These are good extensions. You have Live Server and Watch Sass from Visual Studio Code. That way, when every time I save my work, is going to show right there. As you can see, the border is gone. So let's get started with the first section here. The first thing I'm going to do is I'll just separate this. I like to make comments to separate sections. So back in the HTML, I'm going to be doing just a comment, which I'll call home banner. So that's the home banner there. And I'm going to start creating some sections, some divs. The first one will be wrapper, and let's see, yeah, this will be just the wrapper div, and then I'll be doing the container, because these are going to be contained here in this right here is a container. So this and here, that's the size of the container there. So I'm just going to be using the Bootstrap container, which will keep my content in the middle of the page. You don't want people to be reading all across the page. You want them to be able to keep reading short. You don't want them to go from side to side, side to side in a long line. Just keep it in the middle. Keep it in the middle. The smallest, the better they can read. So anyway, going back to Visual Studio Code, in the container, I'm going to have here a class of content, which is going to be the content that I'll be having in this first section. Here, let's go ahead and create the title, which is Welcome to FedEx. And then here and I'm going to create the sections, which are the three sections that they have: the rate and ship, track, and locations. So I'm gonna do a UL. Actually, I'll do a UL with a class of services, and then I'll be creating a couple of LIs here. We just need three of them. Okay. Now I'm gonna get some of these icons that we're using. Well, I guess first I'll create the text. The text will be rate and ship. I'm pressing tab every time to go down to the next section. Track, tab, and then also locations. Okay. Now let's see here. Okay, now I guess I can take a look and see how that's going. This is so far how it looks. I can also, like always, I can add a border here so that I can see sort of how things are going on the content. But that we'll do that when we go into the CSS. So let's go back into the HTML right here. I'll start adding these icons that they have on the website. Now they're not going to be the same exact icons. I don't have these icons. There's just going to be like placeholder icons that I'm going to be adding. I already have their links. They are also Font Awesome. Check out Font Awesome if you haven't. They're really good at with if you need basic, just simple basic icons. Okay, so let's get these Font Awesome links. All right, so the first one is going to be the one for tracking. I'll copy that one. I have it on my own a notepad, and I'll paste it here. I'm going to also need a little bit of space in between, so I'm going to just do a line break. Okay. The next icon is going to be the one for track. This will go right here, and also a break so that it can go to the next line. Then the last one is going to be the one for locations. and then another break to go to the other line. So going back and checking out how it looks here. This is how it looks so far. All right, let's go back to the code. So next, what I'm gonna make is the search bar section. So this is like not a search, but a tracking. You can search by track number. So I'll be making that section right now. So I'm going down over here, making sure I'm staying inside the container. Visual Studio Code is really good because I can click on the div and it'll tell me where that opens and where it closes. All right, so I'll be going ahead and creating the search bar section, which will be a class of search bar. Then the search bar section is going to have a couple things here as far as input. So first thing is the input is going to be type text. I'll do a placeholder because in the website they do have a placeholder that says tracking ID. So I'll be making that same placeholder here that says placeholder says tracking in all caps tracking ID. Okay. All right. So we have the input type text, placeholder, tracking ID. I'll also add a class here of let's see, we'll do track search for styles. Yeah, I'll be styling this. I'll have to make it so that it's the same width and height as it is on the website. So I'll be using that class for that. Also, I'm going to need a button. I'll do a class for the button as well of track button btn, and this says track. All right. So after that, it's a small, tiny, what they call help desk. Oh, sorry, help text down at the bottom. So this will be track help will be the class for that. I'll be doing some styles. And I'm going to be putting that inside of a span tag. And then it says on the website multiple oh, tracking numbers, and then also says need help. Okay, so I have those there. Let's go back to the site. So this is how it looks so far. So we have the placeholder and everything. All right, so the pretty much the HTML is done. So going to add the styles now. So going back to the CSS. This is the first section of styles. The navigation is done here. This is where the navigation ends. Now I'll be starting with the next section, which is going to be the top title or the top banner, I guess I can call it. So going back over the CSS, we'll do, let's see here, let's call it home banner. All right, and then for the home banner, I have here, let me go ahead and split this. I can split the window in Visual Studio Code so I can see both sides. All right, and let me do this here. All right, so the first thing I'll need to do is I'll need to grab the class here for the home banner. Let me go back to the HTML. I'm going to add a class here because I don't want this all to go. The wrapper will be the main. Everything will be inside the wrapper. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a class of home banner, and the home banner here I'm going to add also in the CSS home banner so I can start styling it. And the first thing I'm going to do in the home banner is I'm going to be adding the background. So background, and I have the link here. This is a picture that I got from Google. I just searched for um, something like FedEx guy or FedEx truck. So I'm going to be adding a URL because it's a link to an image. All right, and that's the link to the image. I'm also going to be adding, resize this here. Okay, I'm also going to be adding no repeat. I don't want this background to repeat in case the image is too small, and I'll be placing it in the center of the page. Let's see if that is doing anything so far on the page. So there's sort of how it looks. Um, so we have just a FedEx guy and a truck in the back. It's a different picture, but that's what I got from Google. So All right, we have that background done. Going back into the home banner class. Now I'm going to be doing also the background, and then whenever we resize the background, we don't want it to be like that. We want it to be more fixed. I'm going to be doing background size. That's going to be cover, and you'll see how this changes it. There we go. That's what I wanted to do there, just to kind of have him in there the whole time. Actually, let's see what they do on the main website, FedEx.com. Let's see how they have it. Okay, there's resizes as a media query, but there stays the same size. So we'll do the same thing. I'm not going to do background size cover then, since theirs doesn't change. Ours won't change either. It'll stay the same. All right. So the next thing to do here with the home banner is going to be the height of it. The height of it, we can get it this way. Just grab the ruler. We can go and get it like that. So you can see the height changes. So we're at about a height of just about, let's say 450. You can also do this in Photoshop and get the height like that. So we're going to do a height of about 450. Going back to the code, height is going to be 450. And this should resize it now to make it bigger. All right, so going back to the code, and we're working with Sass. So going back to the CSS right now, I have the height of it already done. So next we'll be going. I'll be going into the context section, staying again inside of the home banner section. Content is going to be the next class that I'm going to be affecting, and the content is right here. This is the content from here to here. I'm going to be affecting is going to be those buttons that are right here. These three buttons. So the first thing I'll be doing with the content is I got to give it some padding. These boxes have padding, but I always like to do the border. So we'll do border 1 pixel solid red. It's going to give it a nice border so that I know what I'm working with. I'm working with this section here, the first one, not the search section, not search tracking, but this first section. Okay. All right. So I gave it a little bit of a border so I know what I'm doing. Padding for this one is going to be 60 pixels from the top. So from the top of the navigation, and then 0 left and right, and then 40 on the bottom between the search tracking and this section. Width, the width, gonna get the width from FedEx. So width, I can just grab it like this here, from here all the way to here. The number that I get around 480. That's gonna be the width, right around 480 pixels. I have that. We'll also do. Let's see here. Now we gotta center it. So margin 0 auto. That's going to center it the entire section. Oh, that looks good. No, this is the real one here. So center it. Now it's centered. So the next thing also is to make sure that all the text is aligned into the center. This is going to be for the welcome, where it says welcome here, so that the text is aligned to the center. I'll save that. Now the text is in the center. Okay. The next thing I'll do after the content is targeting the H1 tag, which is still inside of the content section. So H1. This one, I'm going to be changing the color, so it's going to be different from the original website. I'm going to be making it white because the background is so dark. Font size. You can grab this from the website. There's a Google extension that lets you grab the font size, and the padding will be 0 from so that we can kind of doesn't have any extra spacing. So there it is. Welcome to FedEx. There's something here also off. As you can see, the text. Let's see if we can do something about the text. We're gonna do Before I didn't do this, but make sure that the font family for the text is main font, which is up here, that variable. Okay, so that's done already. All right, the next thing to do is going to be the services section, I believe. Yes, this is the services class. So I'll be targeting that class. I'm staying inside the content now and inside the home banner. So it's going to be content. All right. So for content, the first thing I want to do with the content, sorry, not the content, the services. First thing I'll do with the services, immediately I'm just going to do zero padding. I don't want any extra space, just zero padding. Okay. Inside of the services, then I also have the LI. So we can say this is targeting the UL, this is the LI. For the LI, we do have a couple styles. The background of each one of those is white. All right, so this is how it's starting to look so far. We just have it in the middle. That's just where I have it right now. So going back to the code here, I have, let's see, the H1 services padding LI, and we have to just do background, which now it's white. Next is going to be with this LIs. We're going to display each of them inline block so that they're next to each other. Now they're sitting next to each other. The next thing to do here with these styles on the LI, all the text will need to be aligned in the center. Also, the width of them, we can grab the width from the original website. Let's see if I can grab the width here of each one of these. Right about, we can say, well, let me see here. See if we can grab it from here. We can say it's about, I think I'll grab it from the original website. About 155, I think it was here. Oh, looks like it's about 160 actually. So I'll take that and use about 160. 160. I'm actually gonna give it a little bit less, just in case we run too far, and it starts messing up with the blocks, going to a different line. So give it a width of 155. The next thing will be the height. The height for this, I believe on the website is 130 pixels. And then also I need to give it some padding. The padding is going to be 30 pixels by 0, left and right. This will give it a nice centerized look. This is how it looks so far. And then I'll save it. And then we have a nice centerized look where they're right in the middle. Right in the middle. Okay? All right, so perhaps I'll leave it like that. So we have that going on with the padding. Also, I need to change the font size. Let's give it 20 pixel font size. And then also, uh, this is a little problem here because as you can see there's a spacing in between. The original website doesn't have that spacing. So I need to remove that spacing. I heard you don't want to do this a lot, but I'm going to give it a negative padding of 2 pixels. And that's pretty much it for that section, as you can see it here. Now this does look different because they have the active section has a different color and a different size. I'll be doing that as well. All right, so for that section, sorry, for the section on below this one, which is going to be the search bar, I'll be jumping down from here, getting out of the let's see, not out of the home banner. Let's see. Staying inside the home banner. I can actually stay there. Make sure home banner. Yes, I can actually stay inside the home banner and even inside the container, but we'll go into the home banner. So for the home banner, the section at the bottom is a search bar class. Search bar class, which to make sure we do have the class there. Going back into Google Chrome, this right here, this is the section that I'm going to be targeting. So grabbing the width of this section from the main website, we have sort of about 590 pixels right here. 590 is the width. All right, let's see how it looks so far. No, that's it. Okay, here we go. So I need to actually, I like to always add the borders. Border 1 pixel solid red. I always like to add the border. Now I know what I'm working with. All right, so now after the width, height as well. I believe the height they have on the website I measured before was 60 pixels. And then we're going to center it by margin 0 auto. Margin 0 auto is awesome. Always centers what you need. So as you can see here, now we have the right spacing. All right, so the next thing will be to make these elements the same size as the website, the same as big as the website. So to measure this, we'll do the height, which is about 60, and then the width, which is about 440, around there. All right, so the way I'm gonna do it is going into the class of track search. All right, staying inside the search bar, going into track search. Okay, searching by tracking number, pretty much the width. I'll go ahead and do a. What I'll do instead actually is I'm gonna just do part of this. So let's say this is 100. I'm going to target just not 50, which is around here, a little bit more than that, so that it looks just like this going through to location. So this is let's see if I can do it this way. So going right here to location. Let's say we'll do a I won't do it that way. I'm gonna do it with a percentage. So the percentage, let's see here. The percentage is going to be about 79%. Let's do 79% and see how that looks. Okay, that looks good. Looks right there in location. I could do a little bit less, but that's fine. We'll get away with that. And then also I'll keep going with the height now. The height, I want it to be the full height of the container, of the search bar container, which is the red lines. So once I do the height, I don't want to do it that much. It's actually not pixels, it's percent. There we go. Now I can keep going. Padding, I need to add some padding because the text inside of it, I'll show you right now, is about, let's say, 20 from the left and right. So that you see how it moved. That's how we want it. So next, after that, we're going to go into the button. I'm going to leave the track search, stay in the search bar, and go into the track button. This is all Sass stuff. All right, track button. Background for the track button is sort of like an orange button. But actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get it from the main website. Which, if I have my extension here, I'm gonna go. I have some really good extensions for Google Chrome. The one that I want to get right now is going to be the color picker, which I don't like this one. Well, we'll use it. We'll use Colorzilla. We'll reload it. There it is, right up here. So with Colorzilla, I'll go to pick color from page. I'll grab this color here, which is tricky. Grab the color. Okay. It's a little bit too dark, but I'll make it lighter with Visual Studio Code. So go ahead and drag it into here. There's the color. I'm gonna make it lighter, right around there. Okay, so now that I have that, let's see here. Okay, so now going back over to Visual Studio Code, I'm gonna save it just to see how it looks. Okay, no, it doesn't look yet because of this. It just should just be background. Okay, there it is. The border here, I don't need a border for this. So for the button, I'll do border 0. just be border 0. There it is. And now I got to resize it. Make this more brighter. Okay. All right. And then also what I want to do is the size of it. So the width of the 20%, which is almost about what's left over from the 79, but I'm going to give it some room. It'll be 21, but we'll do 20%. Then the height, of course, 100% of the section down here. So now we have the sizing of it and a little bit of spacing to just to be nice. All right, so then we're almost done now. We just have a little bit to go with the track help section. The track help section will be outside of that. So track help is the class right here. On the track help, I'll just do color of white so we can see it a little bit more right there. We probably want to put that bold, but um, I'll leave it like that for now. So starting to take out these different things here that I was using. Taking out also this one for the content. So removing that, we sort of have something similar going on now. So the next thing I'll do is, as a bonus, I'm gonna go ahead and get this just like how it is, to kind of divide this a little bit better. Okay, so the way I'll do that is I'm gonna go in here. Let's go into the CSS or the Sass. I'll do it right above the search bar, right over here. So here I'll do, let's see here. Actually, I need to do it inside the LI. So I'm going to be targeting something called ninth or NTH of type. NTH of type is a function, CSS function that you can target the first, the second, or the third child of this LI. I'm going to be targeting the second one, as you can see here. And the way to do that is we'll do NTH of type, and we'll do the second one. You can look this stuff up on W3 Schools. You don't have to memorize it. Background of it is going to be a purple background, which will turn purple for us. The border, you're going to need to do a border of 3. Well, actually, I'm not going to do a border. All right, and then the next thing will be the height. Well, the height, I'll make it a little bit bigger of the original. So height will be, let's say, 145, because the original height is 130. Okay, and then also the line height. So the line height is very important because I don't want this to look crazy and go underneath. I want it to stay in the same position. So let's see how 30 pixel works. 30 pixels there. Needs to be a little bit higher, so let's try 33. Looking better. We can maybe get away with 34 there. So it looks a little bit higher, kind of in the middle there. Actually, probably 35. All right, and then the next thing to do is going to be let's see. I'm not going to do the border. I think that looks okay right there. So that's sort of how, other than putting this a little bit higher probably, or pushing it down, I mean, we could push it down. Let me go back into right here and go into the H1, which padding for the H1, I'll do 10 pixels and 0. Let's see how it looks now. So just a little bit more. I'll do a 20 pixel padding there so that it kind of gives you more room. Probably push it up a little bit. Yeah, it's a lot higher on the original website. So here I'll be going up here and going into this one and doing just about 50. Probably a little bit more, 40, which will raise it right up for us. Just a little bit higher actually. So we're gonna leave it probably at 30. So right around there. All right. So of course, not everything is the same. Of course, I also have to make the text white here. We have a white text, which the color is white. Oh, just in the middle one. So how to make the text just in the middle one white. The text of the other ones are going to be darker. So this one here will be color white. This will be done with JavaScript usually. So whenever whatever location you're in, you want that to be like that. So let's say we're in this location and we're in this page. The location will be taken out of the browser, and it will know what styles to apply when you're in that location. But we don't want to do that. It's like an active class. I'll just be doing it with just simple styling. So this is how it looks. This is how I would do it. And so far, it's not looking too bad. I did lose the color of the button here, which is here. Gotta make that pop a little bit more. It's not popping enough. There we go. So that's popping a little bit more there on the page. All right. Well, thank you for watching.